So today I'm going to show you a simple card using this beautiful DSP. It's from the Daffodil suite from the, this is actually a free paper that's part of the Sale-a-Bration from now until the end of February, and it matches with the Daffodil Daydream stamp set and coordinating dies. Now the patterns in this set of papers are beautiful, but they are quite busy, and so one of the things when I first looked at it was that I thought it was beautiful, but how am I going to use that as a background paper when it is there's so much going on? So I'm going to show you a very simple card today that makes this the spotlight, because it really doesn't need anything else. So I have got a standard white card base. Let's get my bone folder. Okay, and I'm just going to crease that, and the front size of this is about 4 1/8 by 5 7/8. So I've got some Daffodil Delight cardstock. Oh, that's looking really bright on here. And I'm going to cut that to 3 5/8 by 5 3/8 because I want there to be a bit of a border around the outside. So I'm going to cut it to 3 5/8. By 5 3/8. Okay, so when I put that to the front of my card, I'm going to have a nice border around the outside. Now my designer series paper, I'm going to cut down to 5 1/8. I might end up going a little bit smaller, but to start with I'm going to cut it to 5 1/8 by 3 3/8. Okay, so actually I could just stick that on there like that, add a sentiment, and that would be a beautiful card. But we're going to take it up just a notch. Now what I'm going to do is, so this is 5 1/8, so I'm going to cut it in half, so that will be 2 1/2 plus 1/60. That's not right. No, it measures 3 3/8, so that's going to be 1 1/2, and then 3/8, so that would be 1 1/2/8. So I'm just going to come down, just counting on my scoreboard. That doesn't look right. 3 3/8, so it's 1 1/2, and then yeah, so 1 1/2, 1 1/2, and then 1/8 and 1/2. It kind of doesn't really matter. So that onto one side, and then this one, so this is 5 1/8, so that's going to be 2 1/2 plus 1/2. And I'm going to cut that in there. Okay, let's just move the scoreboard out of the way and bring our card in. So now what we can do, just move that base out of the way, is I'm going to stick this on here. I want to leave, so actually I just need to take 1/8 off that, and I'm going to take it off the top of this one so that the pattern still measures up at the bottom. So it's not 1/8, it's yeah, 1/8. Just a little slither off the top of that one. And that means now, when I line these up, I can create a little border all around. And because I've taken it from the middle of the flower there, you really don't notice that it's gone. So I'm going to stick those down on to my piece of Daffodil Delight cardstock. Glue around that. Just trying to keep, so I've kept these in place so that I can see my border that I want. Then this one. And line this one up with the top. Trying to keep the borders, all three borders, roughly the same. And my final one. Line that up at the bottom, top. Okay, and then I can attach that to the front of my card. And the white border on there just looks really nice. So there it is. All it needs now is a sentiment. So the sentiments in the Daffodil Daydream are Happy Mother's Day and Easter Blessings. This card would work perfectly for either of them. I think I'm going to go with Easter Blessings, just because I haven't made very many Easter cards yet. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that on my block. I'm going to grab a scrap piece of white cardstock and my black Memento ink. Get that nice and inked up, and then I'm just going to come and stamp it down here in the corner. Hold it for a second for the ink to soak into the paper and lift it off. So this would look quite nice in a circle, but I don't want to cover up too much of things. So I think I'm just going to do let's see, I think I might just cut it down just so there's a bit of white border around it. I'm just going to line that up and just eyeball so there's a similar amount of white cardstock above my text as there is at the bottom. I'm happy with that. Let's move that out of the way. And now to decide where to put it. So it could look quite nice in the middle. I could put it down here. I could put it up here, slightly in a little bit. Decisions. I think I'm going to put it down here at the bottom. So I'm just going to bring in some of my dimensionals. Stick a couple of those on the back of my sentiment, and I'm going to go down here. And then I think the only other thing that it needs is some jewels of some sort. So let me just have a look through what I've got. So I've got these classic, no, oh, decisions. Do you know what? I think I'm going to go for the black matte dots. So I'll just get my take your pick tool and I'm going to get into these. And I'm going to go with the black dots. And I think I'm going to go for one there, one there, and then one kind of going for a triangle type shape. I'm going to go for one there. There. So how quick and simple was that? That was about 10 minutes, and that is just a really lovely simple card using just one sentiment stamp and a piece of the DSP. Okay, thank you for joining me today. Please hit like and subscribe, and I will bring you another video soon.